hearty sense of humor and his deep-seated melancholy. Lincoln himself had a limited view of the value of biography. Herndon recalled once handing his partner a biography that he was reading. After briefly leafing through it, Lincoln impatiently tossed it on the table with the comment, "It's like all the others. Biographies, as generally written, are not only misleading, but false. In most instances, they commemorate a lie and cheat posterity out of the truth." He was especially critical of the tendency to praise a subject's every act and deny that he or she had made any mistakes. I have not sought to deny that Lincoln made mistakes, nor have I evaluated him in terms of how well he measured up to the values and ideals of our own times, for such a standard, though frequently invoked by modern critics, is fundamentally ahistorical. I have attempted to explain, however, why this man turned out to be such an extraordinary war leader. In analyzing his presidential leadership, I have woven together political and military developments because these two concerns absorbed the bulk of his time and thought in the White House. While the war presented an enormous military challenge to the United States government, it also unleashed forces that transformed the war into a social and political revolution. This revolution greatly expanded presidential power, dramatically stretched the meaning of the Constitution, and uprooted the 200-year-old institution of racial slavery. It is one of the ironies of history that someone as conservative as Abraham Lincoln presided over the greatest revolution in American history. At the same time, the Union developed a new military strategy that incorporated economic and psychological dimensions and bore down on Southern civilians with growing severity. As such, this strategy pointed directly toward the 20th century concept of total war. As president, Lincoln had to manage both the political and military dimensions of the conflict, and his record of leadership depended on his ability to coordinate these two aspects of the war effort. That he never fully lost control over the revolution the war precipitated was testimony to his great leadership ability. That he led the nation to victory and succeeded in preserving the Union without destroying democracy assured his lasting place in American history. Yet success did not come to him easily or quickly. In his early political career, the defeats and setbacks outweighed the victories and achievements. When he was suddenly thrust into the forefront by his election as president in 1860, he did not fully comprehend the nature of the crisis he would soon confront, and he learned how to meet the responsibilities of his new office only through trial and error. Throughout the war years, his basic character shone through: his goodwill and fundamental decency, his remarkable self-confidence encapsulated in genuine humility. He never liked to refer to himself as president, and spoke of the office as "this place." His immunity to the passions and hatreds the war spawned, his extraordinary patience and generosity of spirit. Even in the darkest days of the war, he never faltered in his commitment to persevere until the Union was restored. The personal and political qualities he brought to the challenge of waging a civil war are the major focus of this book. This study synthesizes modern scholarship about Lincoln with my own ideas and interpretations of Lincoln and his age. My aim has been to write a short biography that is up to date in its scholarship. When quoting from sources, I have followed several conventions to enhance the texts. I have sought to reproduce quotations accurately and have generally omitted the word "sick" to denote spelling and grammatical errors. In addition, I have replaced ampersand with and, spelled out abbreviations, and changed terminal dashes to periods. In a few places, I have inserted a mark of punctuation, which is carefully indicated, to clarify the meaning of a phrase or sentence. But for the most part, I have left punctuation unchanged. I have also omitted ellipses and silently modified capitalization at the opening of quotations. During the course of writing this book, I have incurred many obligations that I wish to acknowledge. The idea for this book crystallized more than a decade ago in a conversation with Chris Rogers, who immediately signed the project for the history list he edited. Since then, both Chris and I have gone on to other positions, and the project